Welcome back, viewers, to another episode of Bishop's DIY Auto Repair. Today we're working on this 2002 Ford Taurus Sport with the 24-volt dual overhead cams. Today we are replacing the valve cover gaskets. So let's go ahead and jump right into this. Before we do that, go and make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss another of my repair videos. And also hit that like button because it really helps out the YouTube algorithm. Let's get started. Alright, before we go ahead and get started, we're just going to go and wipe this down. Just kind of get all that loose dust off, especially since we're going to be taking this off. Make sure you get down in here, just kind of get all this just kind of cleaned up a little bit. Just kind of get all the loose dust out. You can't take compressed air to it. It's really early, so I don't want to wake anybody up and start fire that up. So we're just gonna go ahead and do the best we can here. Maybe just get it all clean, get all the dust off. So this is a 6-cylinder, so it has one over here and one on the other side. So today we're just gonna be doing this one. May be able to go ahead and do the back one as well. We'll see what time looks like after this one. So to get started, let's go and pull these spark plug wires. I've already got them marked so I don't forget where they go. Let's go and get those pulled out. There's one. There's two. And there's three. Alright, so next we're going to go ahead and just pull this right off the stud. Oh, there we go. Just like that. Just kind of get those moved out of the way. And set them up here by the windshield. Well, I guess they're going to lay wherever they're going to lay. Okay, then we're going to go and pull these off this wire. Or pull this wire off the stud. And that stud over here. And get you a little bit more room there. Okay, then we're going to go and pull this hose off of here, off the intake. That comes down here into the valve cover. Pull off that vacuum line. That way this is freed up. Okay, next we need to go ahead and take out these two 8mm bolts that releases this cover over the timing belt. Let's go ahead and get those removed. And these are actually nuts on these ones. Break those loose. Just like that. And then we're going to go and finish removing those. Should just be able to lift this cover right out with the bolts still in there because it looks like it holds them pretty well. So like that. We'll go and set that off to the side. Alrighty guys, now we need to go and take out these 12 bolts all the way across. There's 12 bolts and a mixture of some nuts and bolts and all sorts of things. So we got one there, one there. There's one high and down over here where we unclip the wire. We got this one, that one, that one, this one, and that one, that one. There's one there, and I believe there is one right over here on this side. So we need to go and get those out. Those are going to be 10mm. So let's go and get those out. You also have to break that one free. So this is a little bit for a way for me to remember as well as for you guys to hopefully remember where these go. So you got some there are stud bolts, that screw in, and you've got some there just regular bolts. So you want to go and make sure that you keep those where they're supposed to go. So we got okay, so it looks like all these ones around here are going to be studs. And then you've got bolt hidden down here, so that one's just a regular bolt. Then it goes stud, stud by the timing chain or timing belt, and then a bolt, and then you got stud, bolt, stud. So let's keep that memory for when we go to put this back together. Let's finish taking these out. And it looks like there's a little bit of a grommet or something there, so remember that. Let's make sure that we don't lose those. Keep that all together. We're gonna go and set down our little pan there. Alright, let's go and finish going around taking these out. And then you can grab it back here. There's a little lip that you can grab. And then you come over on this side and you grab a little lip over here and pull up, and it should release itself. Just gonna pull that out. Alright guys, I just wanted to show you this. So if you look at the backs, there's a lot of oil in this groove. Whereas if you look over here, it's dry as a bone. So we definitely had a leak coming out of this valve cover. So it's a good thing we went ahead and are getting this replaced. Alright guys, there is the valve cover taken off of the motor. So we need to go ahead and clean up the mating surface. It looks like they put some RTV or whatever the heck it is in that corner, over in this corner, some in that corner, and then another dab down here. So we're going to do that as well. But I've got to go get some. So we're not going to be able to really do much more. So I might just throw the cover on just to keep debris out of it. And I'll go down and get some of that and we'll continue putting this back together. Alright guys, I'm back. I've got the gasket maker to go around in those four corners. And you want to make sure that it is high flexibility and oil resistant. So it's meant for oil projects. So let's go ahead and get this put back together. Before you put it back together, make sure you get as much of this old stuff off as you can in each of the corners. It's alright if you can't get it all off, but do the best you can. What I used was a little plastic putty knife as to not to damage the mating surface. So once you got that all cleaned up, make sure you go around, wipe up all the oil. Don't want any oil on this at all, or else the gasket maker won't hold on to it. So let's go ahead and add the gasket maker. Alright guys, I went ahead and got this all cleaned up. So we're going to go ahead and put these in. They have little notches. Alright, so they just kind of sit in just like that. So now that that's done, we'll come over here and we will grab our new gasket, bring it over here. And then we're going to go and start on this side, and we're just going to go ahead and feed it right around. Make sure it sits in there nice and flat. Let's keep on working it around. Alright, so I'm going to finish working my way around and getting this in. And then I'll show you how to show you when we go to put it back up. Alrighty guys, there it is, new tube seals. We got our new gasket in, just like that. Alright, now we need to go ahead and add our silicone gasket maker to this corner, this corner, this corner, and this corner up here. Let me go ahead and grab that and I'll show you that. Alright, so we've got the new little grommets for the studs for this. So we're going to go and need to pull those off. You take a screwdriver and you just kind of work it over the slip and then pull it off. You should just be able to push the new ones on. So let's go ahead and get that done. Okay, so we're going to go and push this on. The big end goes down first. We're going to work this on. And that's how you do that. So I'm going to finish putting the rest of these on, the studs, taking the old ones off, and then we'll put the valve cover on. Alrighty, we got all the seals, are on all the studs. Let's go ahead and throw this valve cover back in. Should be all good to go. Let's verify, make sure this is all nice and clean and dry. It's looking pretty good. Let's go and add our silicone and get this cover back on. Alrighty, so we need to go ahead and put a little dab there. We'll come over to this corner and go ahead and add some there. Get quite a bit. You don't need to go overboard, but just enough so it'll spread out over these mating surfaces. Okay, and then last one, go and put some there. Okay, we're gonna go and line this up. Let's go and get this back on there. Just make sure your gasket kind of stays in place. Just like that, I guess it'll just fall right in there. Alright, so we're going to go and grab a couple bolts and a couple studs. Alrighty guys, per the instructions for the silicone that I used, we're going to go and hand tighten these and let the silicone cure. And then we're going to go back around and torque them down to spec. So we're going to go and start with the middle. And we're just going to go and tighten these down as best we can with hand tightening. Alright, I'm going to finish hand tightening these. Alright, I went ahead and tightened down those by hand, or hand tightened them. So we're going to go and give that about 30 minutes to an hour. And we'll come back and torque them down to spec. Alright, you guys, with the valve cover bolts, you just want to go a little bit past tight. You don't want to go too far more than that. Just go very slow and gentle. You don't want to risk snapping those bolts. I called everywhere, couldn't get any torque specs from the dealerships. So yeah, just go nice and snug. Don't try to crank on them, just nice and gentle, and you'll be fine. Other than that, we've got it all put together. We got it left sit for 24 hours before it can even be fired up to let that silicone get nice and hard and start sealing it. We don't want that oil to get in contact with that wet silicone. So other than that, have a great day, and we'll catch you in the next repair.